What's up, guys? Cable is here. Today I'm gonna do a reaction video because I just finished watching Eureka 7 AO episode 12, and I'm just left speechless with this episode. This was an amazing episode from start to finish. I mean, when I saw the preview for episode 12, I said, okay, this is gonna be pretty good because they're going to outer space, and also we might see some flashback from the Eureka. But this went beyond my expectations for this episode 12. I mean, so pretty much with this whole episode, I mean, Pied Piper had to go into space and help a team led by a woman named Hannah. The team name was called Harley Quinn, and pretty much they had to destroy the scub coral in space because if they left it, they couldn't really like detonate a charge because if it would be destroyed with a bomb or something, then the debris would hit other satellites, and then the satellites would fall and cause some damage on the planet. So pretty much Owl had and his team had to deal with the Sculptor and had to destroy it. And something came up with Owl that we learned that he could see trap bars. And the reason why he can see it, of course, is he's half Corallian, and his eyes are not like the regular human eye. He has those Corallian eyes. So it makes sense for him to he'll be able to see those trapper waves. And this goes to a whole discussion to where Hannah tells Owl and shows him footage of what happened 13 years ago when the scub burst came, and pretty much the Nearbox came from the scub burst, and then it was flying, and then it went like upside down, and then a record was dropped off. So that's why how she fell from the sky, pretty much. And I was just speechless, and I was like, oh wow. And then they came up to this whole thing where there was a scientist who was known as like a crackpot scientist who had a theory that the Nearbox and the record came from a whole different world. And when I heard that, of course, when you think about like with crazy scientists that at first, oh, they're coming up with nonsense, but then later on they end up being right in different TV shows. And I'm like, okay, this makes a lot of sense. And I think that this couldn't be from a different world, but possibly from a different universe, because with everything with the setting of this show, with this series, with the moon not having Eureka and Renton's name on it, with the heart and everything, that we have not seen any members of Gecko State, like Holland and Talho and the rest of the members. The fact that the military has changed and that we don't see like those military LFOs, and the fact that they call them IFOs instead of LFOs. That there's so many differences between Eureka 7 and basically with the planet overall, that we haven't seen or heard about anything. And the fact that with the magazine Rayout, the last issue, when Eureka and Renton were on the cover of it and they exposed the truth about the Corallians and the possible end of the world. And I'm thinking, like, why haven't we heard anything from these characters or about these characters or about um, Rayout and everything like that, the information that was being released. And it makes a lot of sense that this could be a parallel universe towards the original series, the original world. That Eureka somehow was transported to this world and pretty much had to deal with, had to live there, live life there. And who knows, maybe she went back to her world, her universe. But it makes a lot of sense because a lot of things don't really add up. Why we haven't seen certain characters or heard about them, it makes a lot of sense that this could be a different, universe. And so when Owl hears about this, man, he was just surprised, and I was just like, wow. And then with the ending of this episode, when Owl looked like he was gonna be killed, out of nowhere, Naru does something, because in this episode, Naru was with Truth, and pretty much Naru was feeling better, and Truth had said something about a scub Pororo being inside of her, and she does something where she like she's transported somewhere. She goes somewhere, and then out of nowhere, within the scub coral that I was on, the Gecko State ship is there, and I'm like, yo, the Gecko State, that's the Gecko. And then the thing is, this ship looked exactly like how it did in episode 50 with the hole in it, because that's where the Nearbox went through another transformation and it came out of the Gecko. And then how it was like a little bit damaged, the ship, and looked exactly like how it did in episode 50. And I was just like, yo, like, all this nostalgic was just, I was like, wow. And then from the Gecko Step comes the Nearbox, the original Spec 2 Nearbox, and I'm just like speechless. I'm just like just watching the episode. Now I'm surprised to see the Nearbox, and I'm just thinking like, what did Naru do? And pretty much in the end, you saw the two Nearboxes surfing the Gecko State ship as a board, and when they landed safely, I was like, who was this? And it comes out of the ship, no dramatic scene or anything. Just came Eureka. She's like, "Hello, my name is Eureka," and she's like, "Oh, you have turquoise." And Owl was just speechless. I had the same face that Owl had, and I'm like, "Yo, it's Eureka," and I'm like, "What is she doing here?" And like, what's going on? Like, it was one thing to see the Gecko State ship, and then to see the nearby and everything. I'm surprised, man, to seeing this episode. I had to watch this episode like a few other times just so I can get my thoughts together. But it was just crazy seeing the old nearby back. Um, Now I don't think this is like the actual real Eureka. That maybe this is something that Naru did, or this is another Eureka from a different universe or a different world. But she had a gem on her head. She had the clothes on that when she entered, when she was found in the water. But yeah, it was just cool to see Eureka. But I don't think that's the real Eureka. But this was overall was a great episode, guys. I mean, this brought back so many memories. Just watching the episode, it was just great. Like 2 thumbs up, like from start to finish. This was a really good episode, but still left a lot of questions in my head, like what happened and what did Naru do, And from the next episode, when I saw the preview, to what Eureka has to say and everything, it's going to be very interesting. I can't wait for next week's episode. Great episode, really good. Um, Man, to see the old Nirvas though and the Gecko State ship. And the thing is, the crazy thing is going to be is that the Gecko State ship probably is empty. But like, how did Naru do that? Because Naru did something. I don't know what she did. And then the thing is, it comes to think about when I think about episode 11, I believe it was episode 11, where the girl Elena, she had like whole flashback when she was a little kid, and then Eureka was like holding her, and then we saw little images of what happened in episode 50. I don't even know, like, I have to come up with think of something because this was crazy. This episode was crazy. The ending, what's gonna happen in the next episode. I can't wait for the next episode. I know a lot of you guys probably can't wait either. But thanks for watching this video. Your thoughts below on what you thought about episode 12, because I thought this was a phenomenal episode. And thank you for watching. I'll see you guys later. Peace. Great episode.